Well, I want to talk to you about your book because you've been doing this as a service, frankly, I would say, for the community for a very long time. And I want to just talk to you a little bit about that here because, when you got the third edition out, I know you were quite humbled, I would say. And this was a campaign, I believe, started by Jonathan Mosen. I don't know if it was as part of his new podcast that he's doing or whether it was part of the previous one.
It's the Living Blindfully community. I just mentioned in passing that I would not be getting like a new 16 phone with the intelligence ready stuff because I just couldn't afford it. I was still paying off my 15 and there's no way I'm going to be paying for two phones at once. And I just thought, okay, well, I've got people that are going to make that jump. I'll get the information I need to finish the book from them and, just have to not write from direct experience. And Jonathan just mentioned, we should start you a fundraiser. And I thought, that's a nice idea. And figured, maybe that could work, give it enough time, thinking in months, right, to build up the money to get me my phone, potentially. But I just thought, I'd probably just be writing this on the 15. And lo and behold, in like 10 hours or less, I went to sleep thinking, maybe in a month or so. I woke up and, we got the money now. We can get him a phone. It's like, what the heck? Like it just blew me away that these people raised that much money that quickly to get me an iPhone 16 Pro so that I could use it to write a better book. I mean, it really felt vindicating in a tremendous way. To have that happen. I don't ask anything for doing this book. It's free. Anyone can just go and get it from my blog. And, I'll do it with what I have, the best I can do, always. It was just really humbling and this is the thing, there's so many different rewards. When you put something else out like that, it comes back in some ways. Like I've been asked to do courses, I've been doing podcasts, all kinds of different things because of that book. Over the years, I teach a course based on that book now for free as well for everyone across Canada can come on. It's called Unseen Touchscreen and it's offered through the CCB. And that was not in my plan when I wrote the book.
Yeah.
But so it's amazing what you can get propelled on for something
Sorry, Michael, but it does show the value that it has to other people. Right? You're giving this away and people appreciate that. People do put value on that and recognize how useful your book is. And as you say, feel validated or whatever it is. But I think it's perfectly right. And good to Jonathan Mosen as well.
Absolutely.
In motion.
They stepped up and really made a huge difference in life for me and have for years. Jonathan Mosen has really been an inspiration for me. And the person, though, who really propelled me first into this book was John Morgan. He was a philanthropist who passed away before I could present him with the first edition of the book. But he was instrumental helping blind people in the Greater Toronto area and asked nothing in return. You felt that you had a friend, not someone you were beholden to or anything like that. He was just the nicest guy. And he did this into his 90s with no expectation of anything but thanks, And I thought, wow, that is really inspiring. And that is, if anyone has kept me working at this, year after year, that is his memory. I'm passing on, it's an area where I feel advantaged over a lot of people who just don't understand how valuable a touchscreen can be. It's a different prospect. If you're coming at this as a newcomer and you're thinking, how can a flat object, help the blind? Why are so many blind people, paying fortunes for these things? What does it give them? And if you've never tried it before, it seems a bit absurd, right? So I figured, one way to level the playing field would be to write this book, to write a book that really takes you from the beginning to, setting it up your iPhone, what apps are out there that work well with VoiceOver, what are the possibilities that you can do with it, and really get you to a point where you're a competent user and you can make choices about what you invest your time in learning on that iPhone. And if I could put a book out there, I could short circuit that, that point of not having enough information, not being able to realize the potential, and help a lot more people enjoy their iPhones a lot more than they otherwise would. So that was what started me on the first edition of Personal Power. The book is Personal Power, Getting the Most from iOS as a Totally Blind User. And now the third edition is out, and I've just started working on the fourth edition after a very much needed break. I took it the last couple of months and just vegged and, relaxed, absorbed, visited books and movies from childhood, and just really just restored myself in so many different ways. And now I'm all raring to go to start work, basically start finding out today what is in store and what I'm going to have to write about in the fourth edition. So that is all moving into a higher gear.
It's just like Adele, right? It's just like Adele. When she's finished an album, she does her tour, and then she, disappears off for 3 years to relax.
Watches childhood movies and books.
And veggies out.
And Back to the Future, right? I mean, that's something 100%. I've thought about in years.
Finally, I was going to ask, but I didn't want to, guess how old you were there, Michael. So
that's a good choice. Yeah. Good choice, movie. Can't be a bit of Huey Lewis in the news. What are you talking about? Power of Love? Huey, look, stop on my accent, you. I'll remind people where you're from in a minute.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's brilliant. I love what you're doing with this book. And, I think the thing that's always missing, and we've said this a lot, is access to information. Now, there's lots of information out there, of course, on how to get started. Oftentimes it comes in the form of a very long manual, which, with the best will in the world, I'm not going to read.
Manuals are great for people who kind of know something about what they want. But for a lot of blind people, especially if this is your first foray into digital life, like if you've avoided computers, for chunks of, like my grandmother never got a computer till her dying day. Like she just never got it. She got other people to order things online for her, right? So I wanted to make sure that they had a friendly, something it's not built as a manual. I write this thing as, if you have time to wander, it's like a tour guide book. Like it's for people who don't mind wandering, finding out how this thing has affected my life and how, therefore, it might affect yours. So it's not just a straight manual. It's what I do with it. It's the experiences I've had, the discoveries I've made. My favorite books, music, movies are in there to give people a starting point, right? This is what you can access with your iPhone.
Yeah, it's real stuff.
Yeah, the camera, how... I dropped a handkerchief, and those things are quiet. You can't hear where those things land, and they're slippery if you step on them. So, you can crawl around your apartment floor. There's a grid system of searching that works. That's a tried and true method. But you could call your father in his living room with his iPad on FaceTime, use the back camera in your phone, and he can help you look and find that handkerchief without leaving his living room. And the first time I did that, I was just mind blown by that possibility. When I first did that, and it worked, and there was my handkerchief that had been missing for a few days, and it was like, wow,
Yeah.
It's the small things, isn't it? It's the small things that often catch us off guard, that when we realize technology can do that. I mean, this is, I guess, when, like Be My Eyes came along, right? That was a lot of people were kind of finding they could suddenly lean for help, because a lot of people don't have access to that either. They don't have access to someone to call on to say.
To call whenever they need. Yeah, exactly. And this solves it. When you want to get a midnight snack, but you don't want your significant others judging you for that snack. You still want to know what it is. So.
Or you don't want to make them a snack, because that's another thing, right? You don't also want to make another snack. You want to make your own snacks. Yeah. Eat your snacks.
There's no such thing as too much information, right? Because people connect with certain styles of information. Some people want step-by-step guides. Some people want a more personal approach. Some people may hate us and what we do because of the style. Some other people would love another podcast.
How dare you?
I know, I can't imagine who would hate us, but...
I've certainly gotten my share of criticism from the geeks who want just the information. How do you do it? None of this fluff, right? And that's not my audience. I'm sorry, guys.
Other information.
We're the same. We're the same. I don't think our audience are either. I mean, I don't know. I mean, everyone's different, but I know from my perspective, I just cannot sit down with a manual and learn anything. I just don't learn anything. I'm the type of learner who, needs to have a reason to do the thing. And then once he knows, like I know, right, okay, I need to get this done, that's when I'll learn it. That's when it'll sink in. But if you said to me, sit down and read the manual from end to end, that does nothing.
You always reach out and ask someone.
That's right.
Someone
It's in it kind of the same. Like I've learned what I've had to when I've had to. So it's not like I've pre-learned everything before. I started using iOS and took a week to get used to the basics. But it was a year later before I finally filled up my phone enough to need to learn how the files worked, how I could delete stuff off my phone to make room to get the update for it. And that was when this is how iPhone storage, this is what's in settings. I should have looked here much sooner, kind of thing. So I'm hoping, I can get, make it palatable for people to learn sooner than I did, and maybe not leave things quite till the last instant. Maybe learn about apps, learn about how to do the basics before you need to, before you're in a rush, right? And so I'm trying to approach it with a friendly style. There's a bunch of different formats. There's one fellow, Harrison too, he was kind enough to make an AI-generated narrated version of it that sounds very sort of casual speed. So if someone can't deal with electronic documents, it's all in MP3s. You can just download it and do it that way and hear it read out to you in a pretty human-like voice. So that was a big helping hand that I'm very thankful for that he did, because not everyone's can handle an EPUB file, especially when they're just starting out. They don't know how to manage. So and this is the thing, a lot of kind people step forward to help me help everybody else. So it's a self-perpetuating thing in a lot of ways. People will come forward and help me out of my difficulties. So it just feels right that I keep doing what I'm doing, pass the thing, that goodwill on, and help more people get on board the iPhone train, which then makes more pressure on developers to make their apps accessible, making my life better indirectly that way. So I kind of see it as a win-win. It's effortful, but it's a win-win,